Well, good evening, boat friends. It is November 13th, 8 p.m. Central Time, or actually it's 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Here in Duluth, Minnesota, and what you are seeing is the Duluth Area Lift Bridge. Very calm night here, weather-wise. You can see the lake out there. We will go down by the canal, but for those that are joining this live stream, I welcome you. And while I get set up to tell you everything that we're going to do, if you want to throw in your location, just so we all can get acclimated with each other, I'm going to do something really fun, a little different tonight. I'm going to go a little further than I have before with a walk. We will go down by the lift bridge, but I really want to give you a feel for the area over in Canal Park. You can see the communication towers over there. I have walked you right over to the edge there, but we're going to go all the way down. So it'll be kind of fun. Thought I'd give you a little treat on a Monday night. I kind of wanted to get out, get some steps in. I had a solid day at work today, so feeling good. Wanted to give you a surprise treat. We can talk about ships. We can talk about life, whatever you want. No problem. We're just going to have some fun. So I see Brett. There's Jay. How are you, my friend? There's Kate, Mitch. I saw Karen that was on there. Chuck, I hope you're doing well. Corey, Ellen. Well, let me show you what we're going to do. It's going to be pretty fun. There's Francis. How are you? So I pulled this map up just so you're going to be able to follow along as we go walking. So here's the Duluth Area Lift Bridge. You can see the canal, okay? I'm standing right here by the lake walk. So right where my pen is, that's where we are at right now. Here's Grandma's Restaurant. I'm going to walk you down over here. We're going to go all the way down Lake Avenue. Now, I have never been down in this area with you before. This is where all the bars and the restaurants and kind of the fun activity is happening. We're going to go down there. I'm going to go all the way down the railroad street. I'm going to go down by 35W, the highway. I'm going to come all the way back up Canal Park Drive. So we're going to get our steps in, make sure your shoes are tied. We're going to get out there and see what's going on. And I'm going to see if there's any cool action. We will come back. Once I get back over here, we're going to go down by the lift bridge. We're going to check out, the water, and I'll talk about some of the ships. And we can do that as we walk as well. But I want to just give you a quick glimpse of Duluth. Take a look at that water out there. See how calm that is and how beautiful that is with the reflection from the lights? Very picturesque. And this right here, a couple of people have asked me about this. This used to be a cafe that they had, and what they did is just wrapped it up, and they had it going a couple of years ago, but this year I guess they just didn't move forward with that business. They had, little snacks, things like that. Let me show you another quick update. So as far as the ships, let's keep our eye on the JRB, the James R. Barker. Just before I went live, I went on marine traffic. The JRB is doing 10 knots, and it left Sault Ste. Marie, the locks, and it's heading out onto Lake Superior. I did see there was some wind gusts that were out there, so we'll have to see which path this vessel takes. But this possibly will be in tomorrow evening in Duluth. So if I were you, I would make sure you're subscribed, because maybe I will be out there. So I'm not going to say one way or another 100%, but just be prepared. Before we go walking, here's a little bit of the weather. Try to give you a better view. Let me go like this. So before we go walking, 43 degrees here in Duluth. Absolutely fantastic weather for approaching mid-November here in Duluth. I will take that every day, 43. Wind chill 39 degrees. Wind 6 miles per hour out of the south. Lovely conditions. I just have a hoodie on, a stocking cap, some sweats. So definitely not dressed the way I was this time last year with the snow and crunching below my feet. Well, there's Lumpy on there. How are you? Let me look down at the comments and say hello to everybody. You know how I do. I just get set up and I'm kind of paying attention to all of that. Now it's time to pay attention to you. There's Connie. How are you? It's been a very interesting weather season so far. There's B&M, 60 degrees. There's Jay. I always know Jay. I love that profile photo that he got. It looks pretty cool. There's George. How are you? Leonard. John, how are you doing? 65 degrees in San Francisco. We're going to walk through the parking lot. You can see they got these numbers. Typically, you pay in the summer but right now you don't have to pay. I'll zoom in right over there. They got a cover. See that black cover right there? That's right over the terminal where you do pay. So that's a wrap for the season. I think it's going to be fun getting out here. Hey, Vicky, how are you? But what about for everybody else? How you doing, New Jersey? Has the weather been interesting for you as well? Good or bad? Let us know. I mean, as you can see here in Duluth, I'm walking through a bare parking lot. You'd think it maybe is even September right now for me. Give you a shot of those beautiful communication towers. That's another thing that I think really is underrated. As you come to Duluth, you look on that hillside at night. I mean, that's such a cool look, ambiance-wise, don't you think? Yeah, Jay is saying hot and dry in Southern California. Hey, Jeff, how are you? In Ohio, Sparta, Wisconsin. Bill, how are you? Sean, Kansas City. Anytime I see those states like Kansas or Missouri or Texas, I think barbecue. And I'll also include you too, Tennessee. Got that Memphis barbecue as well. Bianca there in Princeton, how are you? Cynthia, 70 degrees in Colorado. Frank, how are you? SkyQuest. So what do you think? You guys down for a little walk? Does that sound fun? Do you want me to hang with the bridge first? Because I know we've seen that a lot. Wouldn't you rather have me do that big walk? I'll go all the way down, see if there's some action going down. What do you want me to do? I'll let all of you decide. Just say in the comment, bridge or walk. Bridge means I'm going to take a left, and we are going over to the bridge. If you say walk, we are going to go down and look and see if there's any parties going on. Vicky said bar hop. Hey, Thomas, how are you? Brett said, yep, let's do some walking. Chuck wants a walk. Well, guess what? You're both going to be covered. Hey, Moose Man, how are you? You're both going to be covered because we will see both. Well, let's start off. So this is Canal Park Drive. We will be coming back this way, and this is, if you've ever been to Duluth, it's kind of shops with knickknacks and clothing and things like that. That's kind of a main drag. But this area over here that we're going to walk to is more of, it's kind of where the bars and a little more partying happens in Canal Park. I see a couple buses over here. Guessing there were some parties over here as far as large groups of kids. I can see them on the bus. Let me zoom in over there. You know what that is? There's a lot of tournaments, hockey tournaments, and other sports that happen here in Duluth. I'm going to cut across the street. This is a one-way. Here's another one of these pay lots right here. But, you know, we watch those ships so much together that it is fun to really show you the area. I mean, I'm proud of Duluth. I really enjoy this area. Not necessarily when there's 2 feet of snow on the ground all the time, but it's a very different type of city. You have old school buildings, and truly this city was really founded with the shipping industry. So it really does have a maritime connection for so many people. And obviously that's why we all watch the ships together, because of that. Got a lot of hotels over here. So when you come to Duluth, it's a spot that you could stay in walking distance. This is a very, very old building too. See that? A lot of these are historic buildings, so you really can't touch them. Well, actually, let me start on the street with you. See, I'm digressing a little bit where I know the area, so I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to cut through the parking lot. Nope. We're going to have fun seeing everything. Hey, Cynthia, how are you? Beth? So all of you just kick back, relax. You never know what's going to happen. We're live right now, so I don't know what's around the corner. All I know is we're going to do some walking. I'm going to definitely keep my head up, making sure that I'm watching for vehicles as I'm walking, staying safe here. Get to show you a little bit of the harbor over there. Actually, what you're seeing is Bayfront Park right over there. That's a type of a pavilion right there that a lot of bands and different things play under. And there's our friend, the lift bridge. So now this is South Lake Avenue. You got Grandma's on the left right there. There's kind of a distillery right here. Down there, there's another bar, kind of a distillery as well. Let me zoom in. Very, very good location if you love the ships. What I've done in the past is I'll go to Grandma's when I know a ship is coming, maybe get a bite to eat, some lunch, and I'm keeping my eye on marine traffic. And when that ship's getting close, I just run right out the door. So how was everybody's Monday? Did everybody have a good day? Whether you're retired, working, or other, I hope you had a good Monday. And remember, this is true. How you approach things can create your day. If you wake up with a positive attitude, think of something positive in the morning, that day starts out pretty good. Don't worry about the traffic. Don't worry about this and that. Think of something positive, and I'm telling you, that'll get you out of bed the right way. Very important. And over here, we will walk by once we go down Canal Park Drive. You see over here, this is Little Angie's Cantina. It's kind of a Mexican restaurant, nice little spot. But again, all of these restaurants in this area are so close to the lift bridge. They really built everything around the bridge and this Canal Park as it was created. And if you can imagine, years and years ago, there was nothing here. I mean, no one wanted to be down here. It's kind of like a shanty town. To imagine it years ago that it was just very desolate and, a lot of dirt. And I saw some old pictures. It's very hard to believe, but that's what it was. So now we're going to go down into an area. Typically, I brought you to this street right here, and we have never continued down that way. And the reason why I have not is because you see all these buildings, the density of those buildings as I go through. I was worried about the network connectivity, but you know what? I said the only way to do this is I'm going to test it out with you. We're going to check it out, and we're going to learn together. If I'm able to make it all the way around, we will definitely make this a routine in the future when there's, let's say, a huge snowstorm, 2 feet, whatever it might be. I'll walk you around, give you a shot of what's going on. So I'm going to cross over here, and we're going to do some walking. Okay, so I'm good. Hey, can someone go on marine traffic for me right now? I see the bridge looks like it possibly could be going up. So if someone could go on marine traffic and just double check, is there something going on here with the vessel? Because that's, unless they're maybe doing some tests, I'm not too sure. In a way, I'm kind of too far to walk all the way down, but we will come back. So this is going to be more of a walking tour together. So let's go. Someone check out marine traffic, give us an update. Yeah, Rose is talking about that chocolate factory. So this place right here has a bunch of chocolates in there. A lot of fun treats. So here we go. Now we're going into uncharted territory. Again, look at some of these old buildings. Some type of toy shop. Very old buildings, brick facade. Got like a clothing store here. There is a really cool spot that I want you to see. I know you'll be impressed by this up here on the left. They have this art gallery, and I've been in there a few times. You go in there, the prices are kind of steep, but you look at them and you somehow you get mesmerized. But let me see if I can zoom in on a few of these. So let me zoom in through the window. Here's an example. Take a look at that. See that one right in the middle? Looks like they captured a beautiful scene with the northern lights. And as I walk by, you can see some beautiful, beautiful pictures. So along Lake Superior, they captured that ice that was kind of smashing together. But let me put the camera up. You can see there's just so many different pictures that are in there. Very cool stuff. Here's a split rock lighthouse I can see. Look at that. And you know, with art, this is something you can see there's just so many things in there. With art, the most important thing is the lighting. Let me give you a shot here. What's going on in the street? That's a nice thing right now. There's not too many people out. Gives me a chance to walk. I'm going to try to hug these vehicles to stay in the middle because I think if I'm too close to those buildings, I might have some issues. Let me give you a shot over here. Again, we're going into a new spot here. I haven't brought you here before. Those that have been to Duluth, it's probably recognizable, but to others, not so much. Here we again down from the lift bridge. This is kind of a spot. People go out, have some good food. So what do you think? As far as the ships, I think the James R. Barker is the next one. I did see, I believe, the Clark. Chuck or someone that knows a little more about the schedule, do you want to give everybody an update? I believe it is the JRB that's next, but maybe I'm wrong with that. I did see the Coast Guard cutter Spar go out. This used to be a barbecue restaurant, and they switched it now to a different spot called the Social House. You got some old school parking meters right here, still coin operated. Then here's a ice cream spot. This is vegan ice cream, vegan and dairy. Pretty interesting. They got a lot of interesting flavors. Been in there before. I'll actually cross the street real quick. So you can sit out here in the summertime, have some ice cream. But you know what we will do? We are going to circle back, and I'm going to go all the way down here, take a right, and then we will come all the way back to the lift bridge to check out what's going on. But again, take a look at these buildings, old school buildings, at one point very industrial. They had a lot of other things going on. Here's Adventure Zone, kind of a spot to go out, have some fun. Try to zoom in, see some people in there, get a feel for that restaurant. Another old building. This is Green Mill. Duluth Police Department, nice to see them out. This is Green Mill is kind of like pizza, things like that. Oh, Vicky, thank you for the donation. You really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Very nice of you. I will probably go and get myself a hot cocoa, even though I thought it was a little warmer. You know, it does get kind of cool as you're walking around. What do you think of this tour? Is this kind of interesting? I don't know. I was just thinking something fun to do on a Monday night to give you something different to look at. For those that have seen this before, maybe it's the same thing again, but I don't know. Something different. We look at the ships. It gives you a little more familiarity with Duluth. These right here are private residences that are up there. You can see it looks like someone got some cool lights up in their window. A lot of lofts. And like I said, we're going to circle around. So you see where that building is over there? We're going to go all the way around the block, and we're going to come back. That's kind of the main drag over there on the right. .310 Pub. I still have not been in here. Chuck has been here before. He mentioned that it was pretty good. Hey, Walking Minnesota, how are you? Sure you're used to this type of view. Pope, how are you? Got a vehicle that's going. Yep. Let the car go first. All right, so this was my worry, is being real tight to these brick buildings like this as far as being able to give you a good connection. Here's a 310 pub. It's a hotel right here. Yeah, Frank, you said that you like looking at those old buildings. You know, there's areas here in Duluth that gives you a feeling of kind of old Chicago, a touch of New York in spots. I mean, there's really a mix. Any town that really has industry that drives it, especially old school shipping, it really drives this area. It is a port town, so kind of has a mix. Also, Milwaukee, it reminds me of as well. Here's a different area. This is Railroad Street down here. Obviously, this is the furthest I've ever went with you before, but we're getting closer to those communication towers. Get a better shot of the downtown area of Duluth. So you have some pretty decent buildings. Here's our news station up here, the NBC affiliate, News 6. No, someone was asking if it's right next to, or if it's close to Rhode Island. Nope, we're pretty far away from that. That's on the East Coast. This is in the Midwest. Yeah, good question. George is asking, can you see the Irvin? And I'm glad you brought that up because I might have missed it. Guess what? It's right there, and they do have it lit up. So you know what? You come to look at ships, there's a ship right there. Very cool. That's the bow and the pilot house of an old school Laker. It's now a vessel that's all about tourism. Jay, nice to see you. I believe that you're back now. I know you've been doing some things. Hopefully you get a little bit of rest. Very well-deserved rest, that is. So now here's Railroad Street. And I will show you Bentlville at some point. So you go down this street to get to Bentlville. A little more of the Irvin right there. Now this will give you a better idea of where we have went so far. Just a straight shot walking all the way down. Pretty decent walk. But everything is walkable. So they made this into an area that you can really walk and get around and do different things. So now I'm going to go around the block and we're going to go over to Canal Park Drive. And that's kind of the fun spot where you see the shops and interesting little stretch there that they have. How are you, Susan? Oh, yeah. Love Bentlville. Yeah, Chuck, you went on that vessel on that tour as well. So over here, this is 35W. What's very interesting, so this is 35W. That's the main highway that runs up here to Duluth. Now, what's cool, this is an interesting fact, so I always try to throw out some Jeopardy facts for you. 35W starts, the furthest northern point is in Duluth, Minnesota, and it runs all the way down to Texas. Straight shot. So if you want to go to Texas from Duluth, you jump on one highway and you go all the way down. Let me see what Thomas just said. Let me go back there. Try to pull up those last comments. No, I am interested in trains. I've watched many. You know how it goes. You get on YouTube and you start looking at different topics, and it takes you down a rabbit hole. There's been many times rail videos. I like watching the trains as they go through, and they have some of those plows on the front sometimes and clear the tracks, and they just blast that snow. I love watching those. I like looking at freight trains too that are coming at a 60, 70 mile an hour clip where they have a stationary camera. I love watching that too with a lot of cars. So I don't do any videos like that. There's others that are a lot better. I just like coming out looking at the ships. That's my hobby. That's what I do. So this is the main intersection right here. Once you get to Duluth, you'll come off 35 And this is the Canal Park Drive. It's actually really fun to be out here with you showing you this stuff. This is cool. Railroad Street, look at that nice little monument, I would say, that kind of greets you as you make it here to Duluth. Lake Superior, and that lake walk is right over there. But I'm going to walk you down and show you what's up. Hey, Burgers Man, how are you? It's our friend from across the pond. David, how are you? David said Route 2 West runs past Duluth as well, all the way to Washington. But again, take a look at the old buildings. And we all know that this wasn't a Dairy Queen, 90 years ago. So you can imagine how they have retrofitted some of these buildings to do a lot of the things that we see today. Here's some more hotels. Hotels are all the way down the stretch right over here. It goes all the way down. Mecca for tourism for sure in Duluth. And those that are watching right now on the live stream, if you can, and even those that are watching after, hit a like button. That'll pull people into this channel, just like all of you found the channel. YouTube has a way to direct people to the channels that people might have interest. So hitting that like button really helps the channel out. It helps folks find the channel. So if you could do that, super appreciate it. Look at this interesting statue now. So here's a question for you. Let's make it interactive. So art is in the eye of the beholder, right? What would you call this piece of art right here? If you had to give it a title, what would this be? So we're looking at it. Let's look a little closer to give you a good observation here. Looks like you got a seagull. Looks like you have a kid that's on, I'm assuming, father's shoulders. What would you say? What would you call this one right here? There's a pizza spot as well. Free ride. Brett, that's good. That's pretty good. I know all of you are so clever with some of those comments. It was really cool hearing everybody's comments about what they would name a ship, and some of the actors that they would, that they would pull into a movie on the Great Lakes. Here's a coffee shop right here, Caribou Coffee. It's a better look at one of those older buildings over there. Looks like we got some people up here. Let's see what they're up to. Bird family. Burgers Man said bird family. I still think the funnest question yesterday, I don't know if any of you missed it, but you had two ships to pick to drag race. What would they be? And I did mention there is an unfair advantage if you throw like the GOT, that is 3,500 horsepower engines up against, let's say, the Saginaw or one of them. Got to give one of them a head start, and it's definitely not the GOT. I'm going to go across the street so that way as I zoom in on some of these buildings, you'll be able to get a good look at them. And there's our friend, the aerial lift bridge. This is Canal Park Drive, both friends. Not a lot going on, not too much going on, at least on a Monday night, but this actually works out good because I can really show you stuff, not get too cramped in with people. Hotels over here. Yeah, John G. Munson, great ship. Anderson, I mean, really, no matter what ship is mentioned, I think we all can say, yeah, that's a good one. There's never a ship where we go, nah, not interested. If I said any ship name right now that's going through the bridge, we'd all be watching. But like anything, we have our favorites in life. The beautiful thing, though, about these ships is there's so many of them, so many different interesting designs. They all have a different contrast to each other, so that's what makes it fun. I love how they have the lights, even though there isn't too much going on. They got lights on these buildings. All brick. Yeah, and speaking of the ships, I want to mention real quick the horn blast. You did hear that. I had my decibel meter out, and when it came in at 129.9, that was the Masabi minor. Now, there is an asterisk with that because there was a bow and a stern horn simultaneously. And don't forget, I was standing dead center with that ship when those horns blasted. And it was kind of like an echo chamber where I was right by the museum as well. So, again, yes, it is a record holder, but when we were talking about the JRB or even the PRT, that's a single horn. So I'm going to leave it up to all of you to either say that is the official record holder, or maybe you create a separate category with an asterisk that says, hey, that is with two horns. Part of me wants to say that, the PRT and the JRB with that single horn, I'll be honest with you, that is, that to me is kind of how I see the record. Don't want to take anything away from the minor, but when you have two horns versus one, there's obviously going to be a difference. Now, here's that little Angie's Cantina I told you about. I've been in here many times. I really like this spot. I like the proximity to the lift bridge. As you can see now, we got our old friend, the bridge, back in view, and we are going to go down and show you the water. But this is, that typical good Mexican spot. You got the chips, the fajitas, all the things that'll fill you up. And then you just walk down to the bridge. Lake walk, if I walk right through here, that's the lake walk where we started out. I showed you down that. But we did that loop. How's your legs feel? Hopefully you stretched before we started. Here's another sculpture. So right when we get in this area, hey, Sky, how are you? Anthony, Nachos, yep. There's Dick, there's Robert. How are you? Frank said that he watched that record breaker. That's cool. So here's another statue that they have out here. I think it's nice to have different pieces of art scattered all throughout here. Very cool. Like I said, that's where you go right to that lake walk. I wanted to show you this over here. They have this fountain. I think those that have been on this walk with me before, we've really went this far where I'm at here, never behind where we were just at. But they got this fountain over here that's kind of interesting. Very sea, maritime type of feel to it. Obviously, the fountain is not running. We thought there'd be snow on the ground, ice at this point. But if you can imagine all of this filled in with water, check this out. And they'll have these lights as well. And what will happen is you have these fish that are squirting water out into that fountain. Very cool. As you know, you're walking up to see a ship, you pass by something like that. Very neat. Bianca said that her grandchildren love that fountain. Yeah, it's very cool. Hey, Bill, how are you? Well, we're going to go down by our old friend, the lift bridge. Yeah, Mitch, I really can't say you're wrong with that. The undisputed champion, the JRB. I mean, let's put it this way. Even though I have that decibel meter, just from a sound standpoint, when that JRB lets it rip, it's a totally different sound, super deep, super raspy. I think that would be a good way to put it. And, we really look forward to seeing that and hearing it. Oh, Jay, thank you for the donation. Very, very cool of you, man. I'm just happy that hopefully you're able to rest and relax now. So that's a good thing, man. So George is asking about Bentleyville. Let me tell you this. And I was talking to Lori in the comments about this as well. What I plan on doing is I will, hey Claire, how are you? S. Isaacs. I will do Bentleyville, but here's how I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to do a live stream. What I plan on doing, oh, thank you, Kim, for the donation. Yeah, I will get a warm drink after this for sure. I think I'm going to probably do tea tonight and maybe do the hot chocolate on a separate day. But here's what I'm going to do for Bentleyville for all of you. It's going to be cool. So Bentleyville, for those that are not familiar, is this beautiful light setup with all these holiday lights, and it's just this huge elaborate setup along Lake Superior, basically right over in this direction. If we were to go straight ahead through the water, right over there. It's totally free, but it's like one of those setups where if I said it was $20 admission, 100% you'd be like, yep, that's totally worth it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it. I'm going to do a 4K video, and I might clip it in certain areas to kind of speed it up just to make sure that you can see everything. I'll do some good zooms. I'll do some good pans. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to time it where there's a ship that's coming through. And here's Grandma's Restaurant. I think a lot of you that remember this in the past, I told the funny story that, I mean, that story kind of doesn't get old either. It's pretty funny. So this is Grandma's Restaurant. This is right here in Duluth. It's been here forever. It's a staple. Well, when I first started doing these videos, I'd be over there by the lift bridge, and I would reference Grandma's. I would say, it's over by Grandma's. People literally thought that I was talking about my grandma's house is right here. So to set the record straight, we're talking about the restaurant, not my actual grandma. But anyway, with Bentleyville, what I'm going to do is time it where there's a ship, and I'm going to make sure that I go through. I'm going to do the full Bentleyville, so you get all the colors, you see everything, and then I'm going to go and catch the ship right on the edge of Lake Superior. I'll go through the normal rotation where I talk about the details of the vessel. I will, describe the normal things that I do, but I'll do it from Bentleyville. My worry is that if I did a live stream, there's a high probability that there would be some network issues, because you can imagine all the network draw from the people that are right in that area. So we'll see. I'm going to start out with the 4K one, but I can promise you that I will get that for you. Here's the Lake Superior Maritime Visitor Center. There's a museum that's in here. The museum is really over on this side. This is the original building. I think this was built in 1905, if I recall correctly. And then this addition right here from the brick building over to the left, that was added later. Let me show you the wind. Nothing really to show you, and that's actually cool. U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, absolutely. They do a great job. Nice little stroll, and you know what's nice for me as I talk with you, I'm not even thinking about the steps. I mean, it's hard to believe right now as I think about it, I did that whole lap. But when you're looking at things and, truly, when's the last time that I did that? I don't think I've ever done that. Did that full circle like that. So that was fun. Here's that visitor center. And if you ever come here to Duluth, obviously you can use your phone, but inside there they have a screen and it'll give you an update of when the next ships will be coming. And here's that lift bridge. Beautiful, beautiful bridge. The Bayfield, there's a tugboat right here that they have on display. I have done a video of this. I did some research on it. Very, very cool vessel. And I hope they light it up. That's something I was talking to Chuck about, that I just really hope that they put some lights on this, because people look forward to it. Obviously, those that are watching on the camera's right there. We see this tug, and it'd be cool to see it with the lights on it. Well, we made our way all the way back to the lift bridge, and you can see that water out there reflecting towards us. Very calm, beautiful. Patrick, thank you for the donation. Really appreciate you. Very, very nice of you. We're just out here having some fun. what's a better way to spend a Monday night than to look at this beautiful bridge? And here's another question I have for you. When I do these live streams, I try to time it where it works for everybody. I mean, obviously, like you, Jay, you're on the West Coast, and there's people in other countries. Is there a better time for all of you? So I did 7 p.m. Central, which covers 8 p.m. Eastern. I don't want it to be too late, but then I do want to keep in mind that, I don't know, maybe there's a better time to do it. So, look, I'm just trying my best here and giving you my best guess of what I think. Hey, Gary, how are you? Palm Harbor, Florida. Yeah, Victoria's saying that the reflection is stunning. Let me just take you through the canal. You might be able to see me on the cam right now. I got my, it's kind of my look where I have the white stocking cap on. You can see the beautiful, calm water. And you'll really get to see the reflection over here. And I will zoom in. Then Vancouver Borg is a ship that, honestly, I am kind of waiting for that to leave at some point too. See if I can zoom in and give you a shot of that. And actually, the brightest light in the center portion of the screen, that is the Vancouver Borg that is over there. It will be departing at some point. Is there anybody that has an update on that Vancouver Borg? Possible time when that will be departing? That'd be really fun to capture. Even though there's no vessel coming through, this is for those that are new to the channel. You see that yellow light that's illuminating right there? That right there is for the captain that is coming through on these vessels. It's a visual for them to know is basically what the current is. Is there an outbound current? Is there an inbound current? And there's a red, green, and yellow light that will shine based on that current that's in the canal. I'll zoom in real quick. I did a video that I'm going to upload that I actually show you the security cameras that are around the bridge along it, so you can see what's illuminated in there is the bridge operator is in that little operation center, and they are keeping their eye on everything on the bridge, making sure it's secure and doing what they do. And there is a bridge operator that's in there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week during the shipping season. Shipping season ends in January, mid-January, and it opens back up at the end of March. And to those that are watching this live stream after, let us know if you have ever been to Duluth before. So there is a good amount of people that have, but I really believe the more I read the comments, it's a Vibe with Mike.
Vibe with Mike.
Yep, I'm live streaming right now.
Yeah, dude, I love what you're saying because I was overhearing it.
Yeah.
And hearing the history because I'm not from around here.
Oh yeah, where are you from?
I'm from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of mid-state Wisconsin, and I'm visiting for the time being, and I'm sitting over here.
Well, say hi. This community we have. This is all the boat friends.
Oh, okay.
So these are people that are from around the world that are just they're learning about Duluth. They're interested in the ship. So if you're interested in the ships, go. So the YouTube channel is just Vibe with Mike. And you'll see it, and I'll go live sometimes, and then I also do upload videos. But this is people that just like myself love this area, love that. I mean, you get drawn to the bridge. You know what I mean? So, but
amen. Yeah, that's why I was kind of overlooking this, and then hear you kind of telling that type of thing.
Yeah.
I looked right to the middle of that when you were saying that the bridge operator was there. So
yeah,
I'm kind of learning.
Yeah,
from afar.
and actually, what's interesting too is this bridge is it's owned by the city. So a city worker is actually in there. The rest of this is federal property. So, but again, there's just so many cool ships that come through. But pleasure meeting you, and just jump on there. Have a good one, okay?
Absolutely, yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Sir.
Yep, no problem.
All right, we'll do.
Yep, see ya. So it looks like we have a new boat friend that will be joining us soon. That was awesome. But here's the thing. So you have that gentleman right there that came down, and he was sitting right here. If you remember, I was walking up. He was standing right there, sitting right there, kind of looking at the bridge. And this is what that bridge does. This whole area draws you down here. And it's a beautiful thing, right? And that's why all of us are together right now. So let me ask you, what would you like to do? So we're about 45 minutes into it. My legs are still feeling okay. But I know a lot of you are probably on the edge, probably wanting to go to bed. I think that was, that was a good walk, right? Might be able to do it again. But I think, honestly, the more I think about it, we did everything. We saw the things that we could. And don't forget, before you leave this stream, hit that like button. It does matter. And make sure that you subscribe. That also matters. But to all of you boat friends, it is an absolute pleasure knowing you, pleasure talking with you, and just chatting about these ships. And another cool thing that I want to let you know too is that I told you about some of those mugs and the hats that will be coming. The mugs arrived. I looked at them. I'm going to bring one out to show it to you. They absolutely turned out the way I wanted them to. So quality wise, super legit. Boat friends on one side, and then you have Duluth on the other side. This is exactly what connects us together. But everybody, have a great Monday night. Relax. And we went out on a walk here in Duluth and caught some action. So always a pleasure. As you know, I'll be out here with the next vessel. And if you're interested in additional videos, there's some on the channel. So check it out. We have a new boat friend that we just met here live. And we possibly will see each other tomorrow night. Take care.